Kutu on 100 enough. You know. But tonight he's not coming in as a politician. Tonight he's coming in as one of us. He's coming in as Ozigbo Ibai that is concerned because a son of the soil. When you're Anambra, you know, I believe that a lot of us here in the Anambra. So if I look at our family meeting, I'm talking about none other than Mr. Val Ozigbo. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Money Show.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Munem Dalono. Happy New Year to you all.
Happy
Dalo.
New Year. Good to have you here, finally. We've been looking forward to this.
It's my pleasure, Dalo.
All right. I got what also. So somehow, the emotional, but at the same time, I understand that you are the kind of person that deals with facts because you have functioned in the finance sector for some time. So what I and they always say, when you want to understand what is going on, you follow the money. So I get what a lot of that in this conversation. But can I be good with the basics? The basics. Looking at what is going on so far, you know, Nali Igbo right now, especially in Anambra State, what is it as if name with confusion? In a kata, they call if I name, or there's a cobron can on cause name, or there's a candidate America, but the killing, the kidnaps, the criminal activities at the high level I forgo now. I don't think it has ever happened before in this part of the country and this part of the world. So far, all this as if now there's so much blame to go around. You know, some are looking at the agitators, some are looking at other elements, and they call to different kinds of elements. Some even have the notion that this has some political connections and undertones. I had the Russia, which one is it? But the question now, with the obvious question, bro, who do you think are the culprits, really?
Umunem Dalono. I'm very happy, Nabania. Um, this is my first time actually joining this money show. So I want to thank you, Kunie, Adora, and Ndi Ozogasi, and all our listeners, Biko Dalono. Um, Honestly, I wish Naina Agba a different kind of nkata n'abalị. I wish na anyị gbakọrọ here na-ekwu kedu ihe anyị ga-eme ka anyị chụkọta ndị gafere anyị, kedu ihe anyị ga-eme ka anyị bụrụ a center of excellence when it comes to artificial intelligence, ka ihe anyị ga-eme ka anyị nwee ike empower more youths so that they can do more magic in the fields like agriculture and entrepreneurship and what have you. Kedu ihe anyị ga-eme ka anyị nwee ike bụrụ ndị ejizi amaatụ ka esi bụ amaatụ with Anambra steeti. Negodo etu Anambra dịbụ before. Akwa na obodo Zik ka a na-ekwu maka ya. Obodo Chinua Achebe ka a na-ekwu maka ya. Obodo Ojukwu ka a na-ekwu maka ya. Obodo ndị dị ike, oh my God. Ụmụnne m, mana ọ bụrụ nkata anyị bịara n'abalị a. Ha anyị na-ekwuzi bụ na abụzi the doldrums, ejizi anyị aka ọnụ, anyị nwabụzi worst afọ. Anọ na-agba anya mmiri. Our home, or in fact, the decadence is unprecedented. On a ute, alo melo, and a first guanya call. And it's shocking because Gosiaga, and what could any hope in sight? A board now, okay, nature not get benata is a hopeless case. It is that bad. It is troubling. It's just a matter of who is going to be the next victim. And when you become the victim, nobody's coming to your rescue. Just pray to God that now not so ego can analog yourself. Analog ego, no matter the amount, just go and give testimony. That's how we've been reduced to animal kingdom. Cannibalism has taken over. And so, to talk about who the culprits are, there's enough blame to go around. I usually don't wallow in blame game, but Ebe Jolunga Zagi, I wallow many places and people to resort to when it comes to blaming. Nkebe eziokwu bụ na everything usually boils down to failed leadership. When it was on Gisikuya, because all leadership gabo, after ihe mgbe ọ na-ebido, enipo ya in the board. All leadership mellow. Na ebe ọzọ jikalụ makala ebe ọzọ. Because the nwerekwa ihe na-eme. Ihe wutalụ m bụ, I was listening to a video from the current governor. Mgbe o jelu fụ ndị Anglican leadership, ha nọ retreat na Holy Trinity Onitsha. This was just a few days ago. And in his own mind, the blame should go to the church and to the IPOB agitators. There could be some truth in that, but that's a little part of it. As a matter of fact, it's unfortunate that now any no self or what couldn't cause to go blame on where leader Ainwalo, number one citizen, the chief security officer. It was the no one, even they might hear no. But now, Bruno, any responsibility, he had this so bad. He just quack a pilot. Sini ika go get the them as the Manamba, I is so shameless that even the leader, Gabo, more than any other person responsible, because they'll shift the blame to other people. And that's what we are facing today. And the only time we can solve any problem is when you introspect and assume responsibility. Manka brought in Kegi self, you will learn Kegi. It's only when you do so that you are able to then figure out how to get out of the problem. So, nsogbu anyị na-enwe bidogolo na anyị nwere failed leadership across board, a cumulative effect of leadership failures from Kemegodulu, particularly even from the country as a whole, and then down to the southeast as a region, and then down to Anambra. Because iche here, mgbe ọbụla ịfụlụ leadership, I nwee issues gbasalogodu my election, so from there, if we wrong people in leadership who are not showing the right character, compassion, capacity, and when the compassion on a would have it what is the ego government, ego public, na lolo ndi madolo. If you fail to do this, and then next thing you see is Mandela Chola Mangutolo. A man created a competitive environment for private sector to thrive. A man made and eventually it boils down to the level of decadence we're talking about. And then, if you also don't arrest this at the family level, when we start to lose our family values, now, nwere ozi ihe na-ebozi alụ n'ụwa na ịbụrụ nne na nna ịma njuzi nwa gị ajụjụ nwa m ebee ka isi ebee ka ego asị abịa. And when we start to celebrate things that are not ought to be celebrating, instead of celebrating the right values, ihe eji malụ anyị nwa enwere ihe ejikwa mala everybody. Kedu ihe dị na DNA anyị ka ihe eji mala anyị bụ ịgba mbọ ịlụ ọrụ aka ime ihe anyị na-eme ya ndị na-agba mbọ abụrụ ndị a na-celebrate ndị na-enye impact na society abụrụ ndị a na-celebrate ọ bụrụ ndị mara ebe ego ha si. So when all of that begins to happen, they all begin to coalesce. Mana, at the end of the day, and there's also a part about this agitation anyị na-enwe mgbe ụfọdụ mgbe ihe niile na-abidolu. Yes, enwere genuine agitators ndị fili na ihe a na-eme ndị Igbo adịsịrọ mma ndị si na ka e nwee referendum ọ bụrụ arụ isi na mmadụ chọọ referendum mana in the process ọ dịzi uncontrollable ị ga-afụzi ndị bụ pure criminals leveraging this lụwazie alụ dị iche iche na-egbuzi ndị igbu mmadụ abụrụzie order of the day nwezi ha jizi blood letting follow. So mgbe ha na-eme ihe dị etu a guns are now in wrong hands. And initially, even the community would justify what they're doing. From there, abasing to all this idolatry. It just look kita. I'm not calling more here. I talk the locals. A do honey. Once only get kumwoku. I feel and had to go bound by the e head to hania. My name is the alo name. For an it creates an economy of atrocity. If was a full-fledged economy, ebe jialo wekulo. So there's enough blame to go around. My church leaders, my Ainwabo citizens, Adekuoku, and the security agents who are failing their duties. But in all this, the biggest blame about leadership. Because non-leadership bụ ndị ga-achọpụta na ihe dị etu a na-achọ ime wee gbawazie ọsọ nipụ again. And mgbe anyị ga-abanye into the discussion, you will begin to see when we draw parallels, ị na-ajụ onwe gị ajụjụ kedu ihe melụ anyị nwa na-agbabụ first na agbazi last within the same region. Eweluzie ihe dịka Enugu welu Abịa na ama atụ ha nchakwa ndị Igbo ofu ihe a supposedly na-eme some agitation ma ka ezi melụ ndị ọzọ jikala anyị mma and ka ezi melụ that na ihe mekwuwe sef onwesikwa ebe a na-agbakwulu ọsọ onwekwuru phone number to call onwekwuru there's no motivated team onwere ebe a na-agbaje because there has been an abandonment of responsibility. So I believe that the real solution will come when we assume responsibility, particularly those in leadership, because that's where solution can begin. There's no other place. Even if you want to change the issue of family
Thank
values, we've got to inspire the leadership. Dalo.
Darwin. Just can plug out into what you just said now. Imago, nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ọdụrọkwana etu na Anambra before. Enwere in fact all the common what the worst na Enugu state. But in Azania now, the state, all the cast na the states nwere the new governors. Now can already more than 2 years. A little bit 2 years seem to have to a large extent taken control of the situation in their own states. So and now one does it Kezuka I think cause more experience who have been around for longer time. How come they are struggling? Like what are we missing from their end? Ka ife iche nọ ife fa nwee nwere ike ime ndị nke ọzọ na-emenwu ọ na fa chọrọ ịlụ ọrụ ka ọ na fa what exactly is the struggle and what do you think they should be doing now to catch up?
My dear brother, Kunie, he can equal in the 2 years, 1.5 years, and all that. Jegodo Edo State, onye S7 na ọmara asụ oyibo, onye a na-akọ ọnụ all the time. Jegodo for ihe ọ na-emego in the last 2-3 months. Ifugodo seriousness. I feel that na ihe bụ the issue. Na and ọ dịkwa ka anyị adịghị nnelu anya mgbe ụfọdụ. We don't really ask the right questions and do the right things, and eventually ọgọzie anyị afịa achọba ebe a na-eblem. The starting point of this thing bụkwanụ who is the leader? Kedu the character of the leader? That's the starting point. Onye nọ n'ọchịchị ọ bụ ezigbo mmadụ? Zakenenu m ajụjụ a. That's the starting point. Because when you want to approach equity, you must do so with clean hands. Mana ị bụrụ ajọ mmadụ, ajọ ihe ga na-eme around you. And this is why, even in the Bible, Proverbs 29:2, it's only when good people, righteous, godly people, they compassionate. I dare say people, they emotionally intelligent. When they are in power, that's when the people will rejoice. Because if we have made to ha ga na-agbaghalị ka a stọpụọ ya mana ife onye bụ ezigbo dịkwa arrogant, he doesn't really care. And that's why if ihe na-emenụ ọ dịghị so clear why the others are succeeding and we are failing. Na ihe mee etu a na ịnụ na-ejelu gbaa bụ igwe ọkụ kịta na lilu maọbụ iseke gọvanọ ama njedi visit ya si hai ka etu ihe nke a si mee a ga-achụle ndị melie gbawa mbọ. So you've got to be the right person before I gazie into kedu ihe ị na-eme. Mana ka mgbe ụfọdụ ọ na-abụ a na-akpa ụdị nkata, the effort and mind will go into discussing intellectually, and that's the mistake we make. Okay, ka ihe ị ga-eme, ka ihe anyị ga-eme. I'm happy that we are starting from this point. Why are the other people doing better? Because ndị nọ ebe a bụ a better human being. Simple. Now, let's now come to the issue of interest, political will, the issue about strategy. And icheta onwere mgbe m jelu mee this wake up series na-ekwu maka ihe na-adịghị eme ọfụma na-eme emphasize on this insecurity. If you still go to my YouTube handle, And listen to that. Mr. A grant time interview na arise. Mana mgbe m kwụsịrị ya, they sent one of Biobolu and some other people had jene eme attack. Kedu ihe a na-ekwu? Na m aghọtara ihe a na-ekwu. Na demand ndị Anambra bụ road. So na isi adịrọkwa ndị a mma. So ha mara ọ dị na insecurity bụ our number one priority. So are they with it as a priority? And that's why today, not a single vehicle has been bought for any security agency in Anambra State. Na ijekwu ndị DSS na akpa nkata with them alụ, ijekwu ndị police asị gị afụrọ, ijekwu ndị army, ndị navy, ndị air force, nothing. Even ndị vigilante ọbụ set up. I feel na even the truth of the matter is that we are totally unserious. And this is not being political. I am ashamed, I'm embarrassed by the response we've given to this most important issue. Ihe anyị makwa, Governor Nonwe was even a victim. Actually, Igbo man in a campaign. Now his own House of Assembly member murdered, the head hung. Each one, Ozigbo, he ignored everything up to this day. Today, Kakane Akpan Kata, it will see what is some dilapidated vehicles. Meanwhile, just within 2-3 months, a dog governor, Jeff Wihon and Megodu, if you simply set up a proper command and control center with all the right tools and communication gadgets, and in way so you can get actionable intelligence. India, I suppose label, and I'm supposed to the center of excellence about Makahia. I can suppose in yellow doors that I be see. This is where it ought to happen. Open a meteor of meteor. Back up with political will. Na-enwezi mechanism for what I call whistleblowing. Ihe mee etu a egwe onye akpọ anwe policeman money ya nọ mbọsị a who came to my house. Now and I debate this thing. We were able to come to the same conclusions. Mana onwe ebe ọ je na-aga. Now the locals bụkwa the problem. Na ndị a na-abụ ha bịa self ka ha gbaghalịa jewa ka ha nweta intelligence. Ị ga-afụ a kidnapper now ọ gbafee through this road. Ibeze chụva ndị agha ka ebe ha si ka ebe agba ha atabachi nkịtị. Say my why? Because they don't trust you guys. Because how much money how much was part of the kidnapping? In fact, are you telling me some of you are not even part of it? So what am I saying to you? Now Opolo na I desi obodo power why koselegba desi onodun a power team that can be trusted. Wolo ne promote herself. Government gets ne queer confidence at Biagodu. And when something happens, and then now like a reaction, a response from the leadership, you will see confidence restored. Ihe mekita ndị mmadụ akpọwa na phone say, this my neighbor. Na onye bubata na ihe melo na time oji akpaga ifuna all the suspicious. When you see something, you say something. When we create that culture, and onye ahụ or they protected, and money it's all going to happen. And to bring this again to summary, I had a sit down with Governor Alex Oti a few months ago, and we had this discussion at his house. So enjoy Keriko Seme, Basalo Insecurity. This is again summarizing him now. So in my Hogwalum, that you cannot kidnap in Abia State and go free. On some instances, 2 instances, what had happened and how they followed through. He didn't say you can't kidnap in Abia. You can, but he said that you will not go free. He gave me instance how cases happened and they followed through until they were able to even arrest kingpins in Lagos. Indeed, remotely associated in a sense because hands are on ground, but they were able to track them, got them arrested. And by the time you do this to first, second, third, ndoza abawala also. About feeling that governance the weak, leadership the weak, they go there and concentrate. Anambra is the haven today because we are weak in leadership. Simple and straightforward. So Njoya, how did you do it? How did you get to this point of unraveling every single situation that happened? Because they were able to assemble a team of security personnel. They got them properly trained, properly trained. They actually get them well remunerated. They actually challenge them that now any case you solve, and when something in it for them, you charge them with performance. Performance-driven environment can do magic. And these people want all the tools and gadgets because these guys are not sophisticated. They're very crude in their approach. They leave trails. The monies are even paid through the banks. They go to ATM, they do transfers. So you can track these guys if we're serious. But we are not serious. So this is how serious people are doing. And this video, an audio that has gone viral from a monster and the gentleman that was a victim, how we had to go to Governor Mba to track what happened in Anambra State, and how they were able to, they even were telling us what to do, and our own team were not. Because, and what's even shocking, how some people came for us. Some people actually were sent from Abuja to support Anambra security during this period. But when they came into Anambra, they couldn't get money for fuel in Kitikwa, ha park and ha, now ha all kinds of rappers there. I did such I know in such a hopeless situation. So this is why other states are performing better than us because we are seen as the weakest link in our southeast, and that's why we have become the headquarter for ransom payment, headquarter for banditry and kidnapping and murder and bloodletting. We've become the headquarter for everything that is evil.
All right. Before I move on to my co-hosts, I want to ask question that will address that will be directed to your profession now, as someone in the finance sector. What is your assessment of the 2024 Anambra State budget performance, especially as it relates to security? Because I mean, if any new ever be fake game, na wonders ma opportan ego odro kona ewe ejiros ego me ife eji ego eme if as na eji ego me na the budget.
My dear brother, I don't want us to reduce this into an intellectual conversation. Bro, ihe abịalụ n'abalị a. Ihe abịalụ here bụ ka anyị gwa onwe anyị eziokwu. Onye ọbụla ma answer to your question even before you ask. It has never been a money thing. Why nje ekwu ya bụ na I made another video ebe m gosi that na 480 billion bụ ihe passed through aka current governor within the first 30 months. First 2.5 years, 487 billion naira. Combination of the federal allocation, the local government allocations, and the IGR, internally generated revenue, totaling this amount of money. So the ego batagolo naka soludo, okale ego batalo, both P2B and OB are not combined during the same period of time. So it's not a money thing. Ihe a na-ekwu bụ na akpọrọ ya mkpa, akpọrọ ya enwere interest in ya. After all, every month we hear that over 1.5 billion is taken away as security vote. Mana gịnị kedu ndị a na-eke the money after? So, and then if you listen to the audio, there's a video from the House of Assembly member representing Oka South 1, Nigeria, Henry Mbachu. Are they possible? Because get that video, play it here. They did a budget review and they were shocked that Homeland Security, that the government established themselves, we never had such department, but government established it. Guess how much had been channeled through that Homeland Security? Zero. So it's not important. And they have come out even to say that the camp of road. Because road baby says Zori, MS security vote, a Zulunka. I lost some road and went some kickbacks in the road. And that's what is going on. I am a big Anambra Naga. I have asked for government to account for what they're doing. I had to place a value to some of the road that now you see, Basically, remaining more than half of the money. Basically, I am married. Because I actually want to say that it is about ịkpọ ihe mkpa. It's about ịbụ ezigbo mmadụ. It's about ịmakwu what to do. And it's about ige ntị for ndị mmadụ ka akọọrọ gị maka ma ịmagwụrụ onye ma ihe niile. When we have all this done, and then this is why I put out 5 recommendations just yesterday. Just yesterday, if you go to my Twitter handle and Instagram and all this, you see, this is me just thinking, how do we solve this problem? As now, the first thing I get, Mabel, can we can a proper security summit where everybody, there are key stakeholders who come together, whether the current governance team or the opposition, whether the church leaders or even the security agencies, whether those who are agitating or those who feel that they have other roles to play, whether it's in the military, police, civil defense, hunters, let's come together and convocate a proper security summit, moment of truth. Take here actionable steps that will help us to redeem and restore the dignity of man in Anambra State. I must say, can I make it sure they equip the security agencies properly? Ha niile inwe ihe niile kwesịrị iji na-alụ ọrụ, my vehicles, my communication gadgets, my bulletproof vests, all of these things just to make sure they are in the right frame of mind. Because in Keto, they need to be well motivated to do this job. They need to be well motivated. Obu no nwelo, only trust Sarah. Tell the IG to replace. Tell the chief of army staff, tell whoever to replace, to make sure you have the right team here. All here people to be mellow. And Womelia, he also came down to the issue of the local. How do we get the locals to be part of this? Where we are charging the Igwes, the town unions, and can have all part of this. Create here a robust architecture that bring all this together, and then have a massive empowerment framework for the youths. Can the Umaka for a call for alternative? Make here about it uncomfortable for criminals. Don't make them to rest here. Kita have all the audios to put that go not go up to 5 or 6 different audios from kidnapped victims and the opo na bro hawa bro munha igesia if that these guys operate like there is nobody, that they go unfettered. They can operate at any time of the day, and they can storm. They can spend time. Have batabeg. They can have a video. Jai here go to phone. We see phone. We liye na because ngoro na bia etuha. So oya bu alo na emezikita. So, but if we do what I'm talking about now, Anambra will become uncomfortable. And we will not even limit it to Anambra. We'll take it to the rest of the Southeast, integrate this thing so that Obronke Gabusi, Chuhan Anambra, Bajimo, Chuhanimo, Baje Bodmba, make it uncomfortable. And forget here, Ebonyesi. Say Mesne Oko Fulani ko from Ebony, from Iwoku, Manga Anambra Naruala. Igafu Ndo Gidi, Hamuke Jenuke, Nduke, Jenu Moji, Numuagas, Jenagot, etc. Because here Brugo is thriving business for them. But we've got to make it uncomfortable. We can actually even go further. Nothing stops us from, purchasing, acquiring proper drones to monitor these things, and even go to the camps, these bushes. You can do a lot more things. For the Mama Nkuzi now open like this, but when we sit down as security-minded people, we can solve this problem. When on a Transcorp, Mbahaka, and there were all kinds of bomb going off in the northern part of Nigeria, and we saw that every single case, Neme, even in Kano, will affect our business. We had to do a lot of things to make the place a hard target. We had to work with the Israeli embassies, the US embassies, the UK embassies, and we got our people well trained. We did a lot more things that I can't speak here, up here. And so the place got fortified. And so when foreign presidents are visiting, they send the advance team to check the quality of security preparation. They usually get impressed. That's why the place was hosting all manner of presidents, all manner of people from British crew, British Airways crew to Emirates crew. All of these people will not go to any place half-really porous. So what did we do in those places? We did a lot of things. We can replicate all these things in Anambra. And this is precisely what Governor Mba is doing. This is precisely what Governor T is doing. We can replicate this here, and you will see. And gwadu nwanne anyị nwoke ọ bụrụ na ọ mara ihe ọ ga-eme, eje jụọ governors ibie ka anyị laa ya aka. Because this is not just about me, Valos, but wanting to take over. No, I want a better Anambra even before I take over. It is important that we cop this in ball because it is hurting everybody. Today, Adekwuzokwu businesses, nwekwuru onye ị ga-afụ ndị na-azụ ahịa na Onitsha, ha si Asaba agbabata Chineji ha gbana, even ha na-agbana sef egwu a na-atụ ha na-agafere na briji isiri na Asaba na-abata Onitsha obi a na-amapụghị isiri Onitsha na-agbaji Asaba heave a sigh of relief. What is all this nonsense?
Sheila, are you here? Okay. Very soon we'll be taking
Chuka,
questions from the speakers.
um, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. Ngwaganiru, before we move to the speakers and take their questions.
Awesome. After Priscilla, no, she opened her mic, then all the call or that fool. Yeah, Uncle Valo, yeah, I'm million now, bomb no since you need to narrate
I demand
because
this is quite anybody na-ekwu ya.
well, hell, how do we fix this now?
Uh, um, can you hear me? Can you hear the
Yes, I
I
can
can
host?
hear
hear
you.
you. Yes.
Okay, so Adora, it seems you can't hear Adora.
Yeah, but I can hand. I can now. She can try then.
Okay,
Okay,
am I
Adora, go on.
okay?
Ganiru.
Better now. Better.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, I say no, na anya million na agba no. Kina narrate everything narrate because it's indeed horrible. It is indeed horrible at this point and makes you wonder. Kedu nnọọ as in ọ na ndị a emuru anya ndị nọ n'isi ọchịchị na Anambra steeti a na-alarụ ụla what is going on unu ada afụ ife na-eme you know and it's yeah enwere m ike understand ya because this is not Anambra steeti anyị bịakwa abịa malụ Anambra steeti kwa a na-emezi ihe ọ dịzie ka child's play anyway moving forward akama like ịjụ gị ma one my own particular question but I'm thinking that I should hold off a little bit ka ndị niile nọ nnọọ na speaker anụ abatachagodi or ka some of them batagodi because I'm sure a number of them were some good insights to bring into the discussion. So that being said, Chuka ọ dịka Chukwudi Chukwudimma bụ onye
Yes,
bụ udu.
Chukudema.
Okay, that's beautiful. Chukwudimma biko na ọ bụ na ị nọ ebe a nala anyị okwu o.
Okay, yeah, Honorable Ada, good evening from Nigeria. Kunie Media, thank you very much for the opportunity. Yeah, Val, good evening, sir. Okay, I don't know. I'm with some questions, but I don't know whether am
Hello,
I going to
Chukudema.
ask. Yeah,
There's a memo from your end. Can I know some background noise? We can put what one name. I will not know very clearly. I can hear some background noise. A memo from your end because the other mics are on mute already. All right, Ganiru. Chukudema, you can.
is it on the better now? On the better now?
Yes.
I think. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Good evening, Honorable Val. Thank you very much. I don't know. I have some questions. I don't know whether I should ask all immediately or just I'll have another opportunity.
You got
But
it too. Okay, we'll look at the
okay,
two
too.
sides.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I'm also from Anambra State, Navy South to be precise. I the last election you ran, I didn't support you. Very sorry about that. But after that, I decided to start supporting you since last year, and I hope if you are going to run, because we don't know, you will win. But I want to also ask an issue. At first, you talked about compassion. Um, this one is like a personal question to you, sir. Do you remember one person that I know you used to be one of your good supporter, Afebo Kamsi Yochukwu, and I remember you attended his burial. Also now your key supporter na social media, Facebook then when as election, last election. And the problem ihe gburu that time was accident, and it was basically due to the horrible situation of Anambra State Road. And I also want to know if you think that those particular problem has been solved after that incident, because or if it's not solved, what do you think can be done about it? Because it was a very difficult and sad situation in that particular moment. Then, secondly, the question actually to go follow up to that, outside that, is on this security and equipment. You have highlighted certain things and well, that are supposed to be done. But my own question is this. Soludo, the present governor, when he became governor, one of the first things he told us was that many of the people who commit the crime are not from Anambra State. I don't know what that means, because there is no law restricting people from moving from one place to another in the state, within Nigerian states. And there's no law restricting people from and also you should also know that people are permitted to live and vote where they work and where they find necessary. So I want to ask you, do you think that this particular, because his commissioner of information, we have another space, and repeated the same nonsense, and he went on to say up to 70% of people committing crime are not from Anambra. Do you think that this thing poses any danger? Because ihe m achọghị ịfụ bụ sometimes some ndị Anambra now ibido chụwa ndị mmadụ, or like ibido this hostility, like because anyị na-afụ a failing security situation. Then you feel a government that is pointing hand on certain people. And ọ bụrụ onye bi na Anambra, the person exactly knows ndị ọ na-appoint aka to, so that we don't begin to have some kind of mmadụ ibido n'ụwa ọgụ enweghị isi n'ọdụ, like Anambra against non-indigenous. Do you see that as a threat, or what other dangers of this particular type of comment do you see? Because for me, I feel that beyond the comment being divisive, I think that comment actually poses serious security threat beyond what we are even seeing, knowing that what we see in Anambra today is not something that we can even, is not something that we are even able to talk about. It's very shameful that we have a government that is so indifferent about security. But I just want to know, what do you think are the dangers of those particular comments? Because he said it again, and I believe that it's something that they have been saying and re-saying. Because why would he still come up yesterday and say something like that in a public forum? And he's the commissioner of information. Thank you, Mr. Bab.
Okay, thank you so much, Chukwudi. And let me also deeply appreciate you for being honest enough to tell me you didn't support last time, and this time you started. I want to appreciate you deeply. Actually, when anybody supports me, he's actually supporting himself. That's why I see this. And I only have a rescue mission. Now, about Kamsi, may he so rest in peace. Oh, a young man that I had so much, love for. And so it was such a tragedy for me. And this is why I haven't stopped keeping in touch with his mother. Ejua Mamioga Agwagedas now. Even if he doesn't hear from me on a monthly basis, he will at least get, no matter how little, some alerts consistently on a monthly basis. And there's nothing I can do to bring back his son, but Ihengeme Inyaka, to at least bring a bit of succor and comfort. I'm happy to do so. And here, Bulie, like you noted, Bo, bad roads and I think Ojele Enugu na anata from Enugu, something like that, and then it happened. Amaromo, Halarola, Amaromo, I just can't tell the exact thing that happened, but how terrible the roads were, and which you can see that some of the roads are being done, although we all question two things about the roads being done. One's about the standard being quality and qualitative enough, and two is about the issue of accountability. We hear all kinds of things. Contractors are lamenting. When they get paid, some people begin to demand 30%, 40% kickback, and what that does is to limit our ability to do more, and eventually we may end up doing substandard because we are impeding on the ability to channel the resources appropriately. And then let's come to the issue of um, the blame game that this government is used to. Once you see failure in leadership, the next thing they resort is looking for who to blame. And like I keep saying, HR, banye politics, but the moment I stopped blaming people, other people about what is going on. Why are we being looked down as black people in the world? Why are things going so bad in this part of the world, unlike other parts? How come others have moved on? Mgbe aha mbido ikwu nkata ifu ndị ga na-eblame non-colonial masters, njụọ ha ọsọsọ anyị nwa ka ecolonizere ka ihe meziri na ndị ọzọ colonize anyị na ha move on. How come nke anyị ka bụ the same blame? And by the way, why did we even allow ourselves to be colonized? Ka anyị na-enye no more excuse that. Move on from that. Ụfọdụ asị gị no civil war, ụfọdụ asị gị nọ nka a na-achọ onye a na-eblame. Nsị mba, n'ọkwa na anyị nwa bụ ndị ada eme, even ndị ọ bụ sef anyị sị na ha ama ihe ada school close to politics. Ka ezi mgbe ndị ezigbo mmadụ, ebe Bible kwu nọọsụ until ndị ezigbo mmadụ abanye into governance, onwe ihe ga-echange. Kpee ekpere kpee a na until ndị ezigbo mmadụ abanye into politics, nothing will change. Ka ntinye ike n'isi mmadụ nke m ga-eme, well, Anambra nye example. That's why, so I started assuming responsibility. What any good leader must do is to assume responsibility because the solution starts with you. So you've got to see, I'm failing. Where am I failing? What am I not doing right? But I brought here government name. They will look for who to blame. Asking on the Ozondimba, name, asking on Doka, now Makaito as they preach, asking on the IPOP, and I turn down they blame, bet themselves. And that's why there's no hope for our redemption. Ihe a na-echezi bụ ka tenọ ndị a gbụzi ka ha naba ka anyị chọọ ihe ọzọ anyị ga-eme dezi Anambra steeti. Period. And what is even worse is what you've highlighted here, the divisive nature of this blaming. Maka mgbe ọ bụla ị ga-asị nọ ndị Abakaliki, nọ ndị nka, make Anambra uncomfortable for criminals. Ebe ọsọ gị si north, ọsọ gị si west, ọsọ gị si Niger Delta, ọsọ gị si anywhere. Just make Anambra uncomfortable. When you fortify here, in Hamalo that na ime kpakam here, ejide gị ha gba ọsọ, ha chọọ ebe ọzọ bili. All ihe Peter Obi mere here. The moment ọ batalụ, ọfụ na na-eme nka o jide process of ndị lụrụ ụlọ from crime oji kwatu ụlọ ha ọchọwa onye nka nche agbara ọsọ onye na-ala agbara ọsọ ọkpọrọ ụmụnne ya na-agba ọsọ o etu Anambra kwesịrị ịdị ebe a nwere any business with criminals because anyị bụ ndị na-agba mbọ anyị bụ ndị eji ama atụ anyị bụ ụmụ Juu ndị kansi afọ anyị bụ ndị Chukwu gọziri agọzi ji aka ha gọzie ọfụma. So what I say is to everybody here is the divisive nature of this of this blaming is even terrible because you're on a treat to I got to in a hisi Burundi Melai because from Ebony when this boom Madanabian from Enugu when this boom Madanabia from northern person when this boom Madanabia mana honestly no boy a criminal treat him or her as a criminal about his kitty so you can look for more people to blame. Dalo.
Thank you, sir.
Alorinde, you're welcome to the Money Show, Macau Demandibo. That's what it means. It's an acronym, MONI, or Borrego. If I find them every Saturday by 8 p.m., where we come and rub minds, share ideas, look at our issues, and look at solutions as well, and look at how we can apply these solutions, implement them both as individuals and as a collective. I would like to ask everyone here to please share the space and let everyone within your contacts, in your DM, on your WhatsApp, know that we're having this vital, crucial conversation. You can also click on the share button and just tweet this space. Let it put it out there. Let's put this conversation on the front burner. The more we talk about this in the serious manner that we're doing it, bringing out the realities, bringing out the facts, is the more we're raising pressure on those who are responsible for taking care of our state, Anambra State, and even the other states also, because they are watching. They are watching what we're doing. When they see that the people are awake and they are insisting as citizens, taking their office and insisting on good governance, it becomes a call. It becomes a warning also for them. So please, let's spread this conversation. Let everybody know. I am also informed that this is being live streamed on Ginger Media at this point on YouTube. So if you have anybody who is on Twitter who would like to, be part of this conversation or listen to what we are saying or what we are talking about, biko gonya waka na Ginger Media na YouTube. Je follow if I name we solo na again if I na ba. Kaiganiro. Let's take from before I would like to say that Ogadokwa Maka more women. I like the fact that Anyamu go two already. The more women we have on this conversation, the more balanced Ogadi for us. But the next person get woke now, Gabo, will be obedient.
Okay. Good evening,
Not
the
not not
hosts.
Obi, sorry, not Obi. The Obi obedient. Oh my god, the obedient now forever.
Yeah,
Poto poto.
Obi.
Not
Okay.
your own Obi.
Anọ m ebe a. Daalụ nụ.
Ngwaganiru.
Daalụ nụ
Please make
rinne.
your question precise. You know.
Um, oke ka m gaa n'iru ka m menye ọsịsọ maka ndị ọzọ. Ndị
Mhm.
ihe nche ejo na insecurity dị na Anambra steeti. Ka onye stand i benefit from ihe na-eme. Because ama m na o nwere onye ga-afụ ihe dị mma yala ime ya, especially onye nọ na the position of leadership. Gọvanọ na-anya steeti na-adịwanye njọ ka Chinefo ọgba nkịtị n'ọlụ nwayọ. O nwelele ihe kpata o ji gba nkịtị, ọ chọrọ itake action. A na-achọ ịgwa m ha chi ya sa Anambra steeti maybe na next election cycle luo ka people ụjọ tụọ people ka people yala ịpụta mee voting maọbụ ka people avoid Anambra state so that the bad governance will continue festering. Ka ihe bụ achọrọ m ịma ka ihe bụ nsogbu ha kpata na ha chọrọ itake any action ka ndị na-benefit from ihe a na-eme biko, because amarọ m ka something like this ga-esi na-eme or the leadership class gba nkịtị. O nwere onye ihe na-eme blame game na-blame ndị na-abụrọ ndị Anambra State, and mind you, o nwere onye ga-esi outside Anambra State ya si banye Anambra State dị comfortable na-eme ihe a na-eme without the aid of our own people, even when we are blaming, even when they are trying to blame others. Our people nọ na isi ha na-emenụ, but question anyị na ajụzi bụ ka onye stand to benefit, who stands to benefit from this mayhem na-aga na Anambra State biko, or is it political or is just criminals that are just doing this thing? Onye nwa bụ ihe nchọ ka nghọta biko, onye nwe idea anya kọwa kene ka nghọta ya na-eme. Daalụ.
All right, nwanne daalụ. Ịma na ejikwala ajụjụ a zakwa ya. Ejụlụ who stands to benefit, wee sịkwa na nwere onye ka onye bụ onye isi ala ga-esi gbachi nkịtị without ịbụ na o nwere ike ọ na-ebenefit na ya. And ịchọ ịma ma ihe anyị kwuru ọ dị correct, jee gee vidio mgbe anyị mere debate na the last election between myself, the governor, and Andy Oba. Jeff ihe Soludo Johnny na-ekwu mgbe aha. At that podium, he was actually blaming Andy Oba, no how they created the insecurity for the benefit of Odisa Komutalize, Bakalizia. Odisa feeling no ndị ọzọ created the mayhem I got through during that election period. It is there now, okay, every mago na some of this na the political. Biazana ki solve isimba. Ki meku nke etu bango kita. Ki gas everywhere so that ki can suppress the vote. Mu amaro. Mana we entre iku. Onwalo mbe let me not make this. I wanted to make a reference to Manachora Miku Maka. Mana ne comment soludo make you somewhere. Onwalo ihe melono. Ochije we tu ọnụ. Wole say na n'oge ọchịchị Soludo ka ihe dị etu a melụ. Ọ na-gloat over this, akọọla ya aka. And check it today. N'oge ọchịchị Soludo now ka anyị nwere the worst case of insecurity, the worst case of banditry. And what you find, Bona, any leader aghọtara the urgency, amara the strategy, amara ihe a ga-eme, and ọ dị emekwa n'ihe. Malona is leader not a benefit, more the complicit. And when it wasn't Gisikwia. Because Omunwekoga where was up good no matter abegi kolo batano pia or come your uba. Onya game something. At least you have not a mistake. Ichi got again mgbe a na-ekwu na ndị otu Buhari chọrọ ịchụ Goodluck Jonathan, ha feeling na Goodluck Jonathan bụ an incumbent, and so the thing that they needed to do was to import some of these people and cause the bandits hither ka ha bịa nye aka ka a chụọ Goodluck Jonathan. Unfortunately, ha jụrụ onwe ha ajụjụ, achụsịzịa Goodluck Jonathan, kedụzi ihe ha ga-eme? Ha jụrụ onwe ha ajụjụ ndị a. So but these bandits batters in Nigeria, it because they I says, okay, you know what? I'll have a part of government. Why has to wear no diogo? So they're also part of the governance. And so ihe malo nage kenye ha nke asinye ha alaiba ha gasi menka ofiozi arụ. Ndị emepe mụrụ ọnụ self say mba na ọkwanụ because they were part of criminality. They were complicit. So once you are part of evil, you can't be the one to cop that evil anymore. Onye nchọka ịghọta. Etu si afụ ya bụ na Soludo enwere the capacity to even solve this problem. The one who's not get memory because over time has shown that either he's benefiting or he's complicit or otherwise. Nothing. How do you explain it? Only man ya bịa Zambiko. Abịakwa member is kwusa ọsọ okwu. Abịakwa m ikele kulu nye m ideas. Onye ọsọ ga-akọwa why things are this terrible and not the kind of docile. And even we respond so terribly. Na ihe melụ na ka m nwere nke melụ na Nibo. Eje m fụ Ezike Nibo. Na-arụzi ihe na-eme nke o si gọvanọ bịa na Nibo. Ọ bụrụ ije konye ọkpatụ ndị ụmụ nwaanyị nọ n'ime ahịa ka ọ bịara ime. Ọ sị dị ka o si tie down with stakeholders. Ebe dị na-alụ na-eme jugana m onwenugo stakeholder meeting with ndị na-ebe a. Jụọ ndị ihi ala. All the areas, Ebonesi, from Mbosi to Lilo to Asia to Hininandia, Angulo Dogo Bigasi there. Like Allen Onyema Hanko, Hada Anazono. I'm gonna go one day in Olona, governors to come they with stakeholders of Ndi Hiala. Kai Tukana Halo, Neha Game, Nenke government game, Nenke Chokonume. Nothing happens. Let me tell you the worst thing that happened. When Iken Oegum, I brought out a Iken Oegum. Can go get Zogu, Opo na Woka and Emofuma. Okwe Hinchi, put as a governorship. Oh no, come on, it can't continue like this. That's when I volunteered again. Now let me tell you, one of the former AIGs, he came to my house. I entertained him, Mrs. Enjoy a simple question. AIG. Okonye post na Anambra here, zone 13. Kedu etu unu na governors are solve the problem of insecurity here? Na negodu nke melụ na even my own CSO was kidnapped. Ama m ihe m ga through. Ama nka nsi track. Ama nka nsi solve here. They say, kedu ihe unu ga-emekwana about this thing? My husband na, Val, I have spent 3 months in Anambra State now. I've never met the governor. Actually, Dapu Noche. Now, AIG, police, Zone 13, Nona Bela Anambra, na cover Anambra and some other states. They're here. No 3 months. Ne make effort go for governor, for a governor. Always seem that na monkey kanjo na imana obanyelo plane one day. Full governor na airpiece. Oji rapos ochenkie jekulu governor. We say biko no amu abonye de itua. Ne mbọ gbagolo ka m bịa fụ gị na afụbara gị biko ma ihe gọvanọ gwara okay don't worry when we come back I'll talk to my they will arrange for us don't worry don't worry mana nwoke a natakwa 1 month na-agafekwa gọvanọ afụbara nwoke a AIG so enweghị dị urgency okay biko na nsogbu a na-enwe ka aga na-eme meeting every week. There's nothing like that. Mgbe njel visit igwe Iseke agbalụbi ya ọkụ gbalụ onye abụ papi abụbụ igwe all the relics eji bụrụ igwe all the imagine na pụta one day agba ha nchere n'ọkụ enwezi anything gosili na that family bụ the igwe chacha the man bịazie na ahabitzi somewhere n'ọka nje visit ya na-asị ya na ọsị m na 15 days agafego na onye ọbụkwa vice chairman of Anambra State Traditional Rulers Council gọvanọ akpọbeghị sị ya gịnị na-eme ka ebe ka ibikwa ka ehitu si ya survive mba in short ụmụnne m alụdị amara m onye na-ebenefit karịa one m kwuru onwe ndị ọzọ na-ebenefit si kpọọ ha afa and kita bọs mgbe eke na-agafego nkugu aka the truth of the matter bụ na ọ dịgo too bad and olugo mgbe ọ ga-ejide mma daalụ.
Thank you so much, Chief Val. Thank you so much. I believe the next person here Ganobo, if you open the available, because the line, Michael.
Hello, good evening. Hello? Biko.
Because we needed to one you.
Okay. Sorry. Biko, can you hear me? Because network on be very bad.
We can hear you now.
Okay.
Ganiro.
Good evening, everybody. Biko, I'm making one of my. I'm very disappointed in Anambra State and the government of Anambra State. And I'm saying this. I try to read your question. I'm really confused with what is, because I'm from here actually. And when I was in Nigeria, I room with an NGO. And I led a program in Nigeria, the first World Bank, only one program that was the very first and only World Bank project in the history of the bank, where World Bank was literally mapping out millions of dollars for state government in Nigeria. Now, the NGO I worked with at the time only had like about 3 slots to give it to states. I pursued Anambra State. Eventually, after one of the time, I was able to be in a panel discussion with one of the commissioners, and then I said, okay, I've been trying to get Anambra State to actually benefit from this incentive. And eventually I was, he did all the legwork and Anambra got in. And then the second state was Abia State, because I'm obviously an Igbo girl. And then the third slot, I gave it to, we started working with Enugu State, but eventually it didn't pull through. So Imo State was brought in. And then at the time when I was having conversations with the leaders of the government at the time in 2020, the priorities at the time, I'm saying this because this is very emotional for me, and ideally I shouldn't even be saying this in the platform like this, but I'm so aggrieved by what is happening in my town in Ihiala, the type of insecurities, the very, very dilapidated healthcare system in the state, because I lost my mom as a result of how bad the health system was. I was literally not sleeping. There was a time when the Ebonyi state government was, their head of procurement was always calling me, one lovely lady like that. She was always calling me to say, we need to do this. She was just so showing interest that because it's all free money, But I was literally like following Anambra State because I want them to get the money. And I was believing that the huge chunk of that money should go into social work and infrastructures, especially health. Anambra State eventually came on board, and I was not sleeping because literally every time I was traveling from Abuja to Oka and then working on the project and cleaning their data and doing everything. And they started assessing the money. The money started coming. The money went, I heard that the money went into the airport that was built. And then whenever I come, there's all like they're building this lovely airport and, making a show, oh, Judith, if I'm come and here, the money went into the airport. And eventually, I lost my mom, may her soul rest in peace, a few months ago. And when my mom had the ischemic um stroke that she had, none of us were close, and she was being taken from Amak and all of that. And there was no neurologist, there was no, even the most common, all the people that were in the ICU at the time, there was no equipment to treat them. Literally, they were dying from time. They said there's no equipment in the hospital. Things as little as, like, oh my God, it was so, so bad. And then the whole insecurity thing also started. I don't know what is the demand. So what is, so that when you were speaking, all the things you were saying was really resonating with me as someone who has worked in a sector that, not politically, but when I see government, because I've literally worked with many governments, not just at the national level but also at the continental level. I don't think I've ever seen a government, a subnational government, that is as unserious as Anambra State government. And not just with this present government. This is like a like a culture within the government. Obviously, I don't know why, but it's just like powers are passing on to particular type of people who don't really prioritize the things that would, keep the state safe and also keep the people safe. Because if you don't invest in your human um, capital, which are really the people who are eventually going to stimulate the economy and have a safe, enabling environment for trade and commerce to thrive, then you have not started doing anything. So, and that raises the caveat for me to ask, what is the demand for insecurity in the state? Because if there is no demand for insecurity in the state, then it would not be happening. Because you can't create an enabling environment for criminal enterprises to thrive. Why are we not utilizing basic technology? Even when you come to predicting policing, there are lots of data. Just, I'm not even in Anambra State, but I can tell you lots of information, intel going on. It's not like these people are operating in the space. They're operating within the state, and the state is not even, the landmark is not even big. If you're talking about places in the north where there are lots of landmark and all of that, then you could say it's difficult to fish these people out. It's possible, it's doable, but the political will and the capacity and the interest are not there. And if the people, if the government doesn't value the lives of the people enough to be able to create the sort of things for them to keep safe, then I think the people should demand for this. Make it ungovernable for them in terms of pressing the governor to do this. Because now other state, Mbada just, that was also, at the same time with the present government is still doing things within the state. Why are we not seeing the use of technology? Where are there not CCTVs in strategic places? So I think this is the level of unseriousness with the state government, and I do not really think that they really value the lives of the people, because otherwise we would have seen some level of, like, just call us people. Why am I you're governing people and you should be able at least to keep them safe. It's really, really annoying what is going on in the state. And I totally agree with all you're saying. The political will is not there. There is no sense of urgency. There is no sense of urgency to this. And the money is there. And we know that the state is, Anambra has never failed to receive their security vote. And these are undisclosed sums of money that we know, like, for people who know what security votes are. And we're not even talking about the security and the policing and the defense budget. We're just talking about the security vote that they can actually apportion to different things. What is he doing with the security votes that comes to the state? So there are lots of questions there. There are lots of issues there that needs to be unpacked. And we need to tell them the truth, because this is enough.
Thank you so much, Ify. I don't even know where to start to respond to you. Kansigodogi, my sincere condolences not just for your mom, but all the mayhem happening in Ihiala. Ihiala, I have a lot of friends there, and in fact, the latest incident in Ihiala was very troubling. How very successful man and a lot of other people, including somebody, that's the most painful part, somebody they physically challenged, who was well loved by the people, who acts like an event manager, preparing for a burial of over 90-year-old woman. And these criminals stormed the place and opened fire. They came like security agencies, covered their faces. They thought they were one of those, some of those vigilantes, and opened fire. Some actually said there were up to 12, 15 people that were murdered, even though some say it's just 7 people. But these things keep happening. And guess what? They took their time, they conducted all this, because they did this in about 3 different locations, and they moved on, and no, but nothing. All we heard, that's the first time we heard governor placing a bounty. Okay, if you catch somebody. And this has gone so bad that a sitting House of Assembly member is still in captivity. A young man, big man, is still in captivity. We don't know where he is. The Archbishop, retired Archbishop, over 70-year-old gentleman, kept for over a month until recently was released. The number of priests that have been victims of this is uncountable. 2 Reverend sisters are still in captivity. There was even one that was told that was murdered in his car, a Reverend Father in Anambra. That was never reported. There are all manner of atrocities. People who are in these camps are talking about some 300 people. There's a case of somebody a group of people that were traveling from, um, EL access to Owerri. Along the way, in their bus or something, they were stopped by policemen. They thought they were policemen. They were kidnappers. They entered their vehicles and drove all 10 of them. And in front of, they murdered 4 to harvest their organs. Those that think that couldn't, come up with enough ransom, and the other 6 were left. And the guy talking about it was one of those people that was spared. You know, in all, the story is totally unpalatable. On a wute, on a banya mili, amaram anywhere. Now let's go to the next thing you talked about. Let me simply summarize this way. Ụmụnne mgbe ụfọdụ we're actually part of the problem without knowing this. All are easy to look for. I started this conversation by saying, take responsibility. How are you taking responsibility enough for yourself? Are you even doing enough? You know, how do we even choose leaders we put into office? Mgbe a na-atụ 2021 election, what did you consider? Did you consider quality of person or promise? Some of you galanti ebe a na-ekwu Dubai Tower, na-esobe Dubai Tower. Onwe onye jụrụ ese, kedu ụdị mmadụ onye a bụ? Onwe onye jụrụ ajụjụ mgbe ọ nọ na CBN, kedu ụdị mmadụ ọ bụ? Who asked? Onwe onye jụrụ maka mụa, jee na Transcorp, na Diamond Bank, na UBA, na Bank PHB, all the places. Kedu ụdị mmadụ onye a bụ? The most important thing we should now be focusing on is the emotional intelligence level of whoever we're bringing to office, because it covers everything. We've used those words like compassion, character, empathy, and all of that is subsumed under emotional intelligence. Because, like those who have listened to me talk about this over and over and over, let me quickly repeat this again. Emotional intelligence consists of 3 things. Ụzọ ihe ịtọ. Nke mbụgodo bụ about yourself. Ị na-agwa onwe gị eziokwu? Do you know how vulnerable you are? Ị ma na ị bụrụ Chukwu? Ị ma na ị bụ mmadụ nkịtị ga-abụ anwụnta taa gị inwee malaria? Onye bụ. When you humble yourself, o nwere ụfọdụ mistake ma mmenata n'ụwa gị. If you are emotionally intelligent, ị na-agwa onwe gị eziokwu. Malụ na onwe ihe ndị ma na onwe ndị marọ. Gee ntị from ndị manụ. And so, if you miss this, unu na-achọ ma ndị nwere oke afa ma prọfesọ ma chief economic advisor ejuro kedu ụdị mmadụ onye a bụ, you make the mistake. Echizi ọgọba ya afịa ịchọwa onye na-eblem. If you want to get it right, people who are humble, who understand that we are just a godly creature. Nke ịbụọ, chọọnụ ndị nwere nsọpụrụ, ndị na-atụ egwu mmadụ, atụ egwu Chukwu, ndị na-enwe respect and courtesy for a fellow human being. Ịchọ ịgwa mmadụ okwu, ịgwana ya with some decorum. Ọ bụgoro na ị likere onye aha, like ya Chukwu in that person, because we were all created in the image and likeness of God. Nke ịtọ, social awareness. Ebe ị nọ na na-anaghali anya mana ebe ị nọ, malụ your environment, malụ when to speak, malụ when to shut the hell up, malụ when to get ntị. Ịmalụ ihe ndị a na-eme observe, ọ ya bụ na ịdị emotionally intelligent. Ịrapụ ihe ndị a, chọba ndị dị arrogant, ifulu iwelu. We actually shouldn't have landed ourselves into this. Maka ọ maka echi ka m ji ekwu ya, ọ dị mkpa na-mislead kwa, mana onwe ihe ga-abụ ha na-eweta n'alụgodo adezi obodo. Peter Obi did it so well. He had someone like Professor Okuna to drive this area. He prioritized issues relating to multilaterals. And that's why mgbe UN headquarters Baloko, onye ha Anambra liaison office in Abuja. And based on that, he attracted a lot of goodwill. So most of Humelo, Anambra, with the support from the multilaterals. So he was more serious-minded, unlike subsequent administrations. Ihe na-achọ ịgwa gị bụ, myself, mgbe m nọ na bank, head of embassies and multilaterals. Mgbe m bidoro na Standard Trust Bank, I was the first person to create that unit. Now I manage almost all the missions that were in Nigeria, from the World Bank to the US mission to all of these. So I'm the importance of this area. Ihe ndị ekwu ya bụ biko, ebe ị nọ na, emechaa, we will be in touch. Ma nke ahụ imelụ mgbe ahụ, onwe nwekwu more opportunities ka anyị bidokwu bi ya, maka by the grace of God, by this time next year, m ga na-ekwuzi okwu my inauguration as the next governor of Anambra State. And then let me say this also. Ihe kacha agba m anya mmiri bụ complicity of silence among the Anambra, particularly the elites. Na mbezi a na-ajụ okenye nọkwa n'ụlọ ewu ewe nwụrụ n'ọbụrụ. Ka ezi nke bụ ada anụzikwuru ọnụ anybody. Gwa m a businessman na-ekwu okwu gbasara ihe na-eme. Gwa m church leaders na-ekwu gbasara. Gwa m where the civil societies, kedu ndị media, kedu ndị journalists, kedu nothing. Onwe mgbe ọ ga-abụ n'anya bụ sọsọ Val Ozigbo na-ekwu, ma ọ bụ mgbe ụfọdụ Nigerian Batu ekwuo, Jude Menaje ekwuo, akpa anyị nwa voices of opposition. Thank God recently, Father Bomonso na-emechazi ndị ụka iru. Thank God for him. Even though ha na-achụ ya ka ha gbuo, mana thank God na ha enwere ike ya maka ọnwa Chukwu ka ọ bụ. What I'm saying is we all need to speak up. So ndị mma meghalịrị arụ sometime bụ ndị lawyers. Onwe mgbe ha je buo placard because etu wee mee kidnap na onye otu ha. But let's not wait until they kidnap onye otu anyị before anyị gbaghalịba. Because kedu onye akwụlieni? When they came for Jews, he did nothing because of a Jew. They came for the other group, did nothing. Eventually, when they now came for him, because they was all the people that could have come for him. Because complicity of silence, we are all as guilty as charged. Thank you.
Let's hear
Oh,
from
thank you
Mars.
so
Yes,
much.
please.
Chuka, are you there?
Yes. Kind of from Mars. Yes, okay.
Hello, Chuka.
Then you can come in.
Can you
Uchokoye.
hear me?
Uche, I can
Code of
hear you.
Equity. Can you hear me?
Uche, Adora,
Uche, we
Marama,
can hear you. We can hear
Can you
both of
hear
you.
me?
he can't
Uche,
hear me.
maybe Uche
Mazizuke, can you hear me?
I can hear
Adora,
you. Uche, I can hear you.
I guess the problem is from
okay,
my end.
Mazi is okay because we are na mother no near. I don't mind if only kumana. Ana masika gwa ganiru.
Okay. I think maybe no need ịgbada gbagotakwu. Ụmụnne m ekene m eze ego ana m ekene ya.
ị na-akpọ m eze ego na morning show a ga-asịkwa na ọmụ a nwere show kpachakwa
Mba,
anya gị.
ihe adịrọkwa na mọnin nke a bụkwa mọnin n'ụtụtụ na ọ bụrụkwa nke ego.
But nke a aka ni maka ọdịmma ndị Igbo.
Ehe, ifugu ya nụnụ. So na ọgụ maka eze ego nke anyị mụ. Anyway, biko ụmụnne m ekene m. Ịma na ihe na-eme na Anambra, I've, many of us, Kugie, I think I'm asking na space I know the other day. I made this known. Ihe na-emenụ bụ na onye nọ n'akụkụ na-akọ. Mgbe nna m nọ ndụ, ọ ya asị gị na ị na-eme na ọgbasagha gị na ọgbasagha gị, mbọsị ọ ya agbasa gị ọgbachika gị ahụ. And a lot of us ọgbachikabaga anyị ahụ. Ọ bụrụ na o nwebu ndị
Can
fada
anyone
na
hear
ndị
me?
sista. Uche, we can hear you loud and clear. Gbadanụ gbagotanụ biko. So, ọ bụrụ na onye na-eme na ọgbasaghị ya, mbọsị ọ ya agbasi ọgbachika ya ahụ. Enwere ike ọ bụrụ na mgbe mbụ na ndị fada na ndị reverend sisters na-eme na ọgbasazi ha mgbe mbụ, mana kịta ọ gbasago onye ọbụla. Like our guest said before, thank God na Ebube Monse ebidogo kwube. N'anya, a na-alụ ụzọ bụ eziokwu. We can't take that away. Mana ọkwa onye dị ndụ na-agba n'ụzọ. And ụzọ a na-alụ wee nyekwuzie aka ihe ọjọọ a na-eme. Because ebutezie mmadụ abanye n'ụzọ dị mma, gbafuo agbafuo. On the 29th of December, Ezinifite witnessed a different form of kidnapping. 3 people were taken from their houses. Abatakoaka, Emepe Gates, motor driver, and Imago 2 people say China Abial, to the way we stay Christmas. I say, Nonya, Atuake, Bruhatina moto. On their way out, they met my cousins in their own car. Akwaseha, blew 3 of them. Now, Ijigosina, Onwe Odiha Megan Anambra, you are on your own. You are on your own. Some of the commissioners, Ndimma, I reached out. Even the chief of staff, I reached out. Send them details. Nehe nemen. Nwere n'ime ha sọsọ ofu onye bụ onye si okay, we on it. Mụọ mụ n'obi m. We on it. Nke a bụ na political talk. Emesịa, all said and done. Na track ndị a, ụmụnne m ndị Anambra, ka ebe a track tafa n'Orumba. Ka was a private source. Ka eji wee track buffer. The telephone numbers ndị kidnap sometimes ha gbanye on because again ndị mmadụ na-akọwa na ndị a bụ ndị isi adịchọrọ mma mgbe ụfọdụ because ha gbanye phone on maybe ka ha nweta internet, I don't know how, but one company tracked and what are the same location, second company, the third company, the same location. Agba mbọ atụnogwu agba abụ atụnogwu ọ bụrụ egwu ka apịala akụ. DSS, police, everybody involved, they are aware ihe a na-ekwu ebido negotiation. 30 billion, not B, until our state budget can demand. Ego niile dị na account, I wipe wire out. Over 40 million, in man they have. Inwe your various banks, various banking app, 2 days. So 72 hours, ha kpọrọ oku. Ha wee godu nwayọ na wipe godo ego. After ha wipe chala ego, move che ego. Wee kpọọ. Why am I saying this? It's just for us to understand. Someone like me, I try as much as possible to project an Igbo. Ọkwa n'ebe a bụ ebe dị mma, a lot of us na-achọ ịnọ. Mana Anambra steeti nke anyị abụrụgo ebe ọ ya bụ na ọ bụgodị nọ na ịpụta kịta asị hey ọ bụrụ na nnata ka m from airport ka m nwere old Camry wee nata asị ọkụ as long as na that Camry nwere air condition glass gị gbanie agbanie you are an endangered species. Ọ ihe dị njọ ọ na-ewute m to say these things public maka na ndị ebuelu ọ bụrụ na maka na ha bụ ndị nnukwu moto mana I can imagine bụrụ mmadụ si ya Ezinifite bụrụ ya jebe Orumba ruo ebe a nọrọ ebe a na-ana ego emekata after 1 week and negotiate ya. You know, during that negotiation one thing was coming to my mind. Ọkwa ịma na when we hear about slave trade ohu achụba ohu chụta ohu ekweghị ọnụ ekweghị ọnụ ele. That's what we are now doing to ourselves. Bottom line nọ na ya bụ in all these things na-emenụ na Anambra State there is one thing that I do not care about. Ọ bụ ndị agitation abụ agitators ọ bụ ndị ori ọ bụ ndị ama ọ bụ ndị another state. It shouldn't be our headache. Onye ọsọlịa bụlụ na-eme ya anyị nwere what it takes to stop it at the stops. The bulk stops at the table of the chief security officer of the state. Ị bịalụ na-agwa anyị na anyị makwa na ebe ndị anụnwa nọ and so what ka anyị mezie gị n'ebe ịma ebe ha nọ go and take them out. Anyị ma ebe ha nọ anyị ma ndị na-eme ihe a biko no we have elected you. That's why you were elected as the chief security officer. Go and take them out. We do not care who they are. My own dad Nolonia, take him out. No apologies. Nna mụrụ m amụ Nolonia, take him out. Don't tell us why Naima and Dinemia Lipotazia. Now you are even marketing us. Na Anambra, na ọ bụ na kidnap anyị na ịma na ihe o ji eme bụ na anyị nwere our KV, that is our kidnapping values, is now boosted. Ihe m na-ekwu bụ na okenye amaghị egwu a na ọlụ a na dị. Enwere another mix of it, organ harvest. I was trying to explain to somebody last night. The organ harvest a na-abụkwa na-ekwu ihe a, it's not about medical organ harvest because ndị na-egbu ya ndị na-egbukasị mmadụ eme ha ara egbu gị na ọka abịa eweta your heart etinye ya na incubator etinye ya na something ga preserve ya ka e buru na-agba with ambulance. No. As crude as it sounds, ihe a bụ ihe ha ji agwọ ọgwụ eji agwọ ọdị eji eme nke see the state and ndị na-achị mma because consistently emesịa ọ sị na o nwere ebe ndị dibia dị involved ndị nke a dị involved yet ije na Facebook ndị niile a na ebe a onwenughị onye eji na ebe nke ya kpuchie site emezina ihe a ka laws anyị nwe in this. So bottom line biko na ụmụnne m we have one thing dị in this na ndị anyị rọpụta echi anyị onwe space amaramadiko nwa Chinemere mere a couple of days whether Soludo is scared or I can't remember how he phrased it. Ụjọ na-atụ ya o nwere ihe ọma o nweghị ihe ọma mana ihe m na-agwa anyị bụ na okenye amaghị egwu a na alụlụ a na dị ya ọ bụ maka election ka eji ala ụwa this thing ka o festa. I don't care na anyị na-agbazi ọsọ na be anyị kedu ihe bụ na 3 years later 3 years anyị na-ama atụ otu ọhọ dịka ọdịnolu ịmaghị ga aka look at Enugu steeti ebe a Mbaka Ebube Monso made us understand just like nke melụm last week apụta afụ ebe ha nọ onwero onye ga-abụ DSS kọlụgbago elu DSS akọlụgbada ana ịmazi nke ọjọọ na-eme ndị bụ na akaụntụ ha transfer chazi ego ejezie je blọkụ ha. Now ndị ọbụla nọ na my community agbagwo ọsọ why ha kpọkwazi na-asị o na anyị gwara ụnụ agwa na ndị uwe ojii unu jegwa ndị uwe ojii ablọkụ akaụntụ a ngwana unu ga-afụzi anyị oke n'ọhịa ngwere n'ụzọ. Onye na-achị anyị ọma ndị ya na ya na-achị ọma yes they know because we told them. Onwe ihe ha merụ onwere ihe ha na-eme onweghị ihe ha merụ, onwekwana ihe ha na-eme. The Anambra, we must find a solution to this. I yield. Maazị Ezekeba from.
Hell, yeah, ihe a bụ nnọọ eziokwu biko. Ebe a ka anyị nwetazi onwe anyị na Anambra steeti biko. Ụzọ ọma biko, ọ bụ na ị na ya n'ala anyị okwu. Ya arụkọ nwechaziri m nnọọ. Ji ọkụ ụzọ ọma ị na ebe a, the lady. Ọ dị ka ụzọ
There
anọrọ
is
ya.
not joke.
Abụ na ụlọ ọzọ itinye dị iwu na dị itinye yi ọ bụzie ji ọkụ na
Joke. Ọ bụ na ị nọ nso biko kwuo okwu. Ọ bụ na ị nọrọ ka onye ọzọ kwube ozugbo. Obi nwa gaa n'iru.
ya dị ka ibizi Japanese accent wee kwudi afa.
Bueno, ekenego m onye ọbụla host co-host na Maazị Valentine Ozigbo. Ekenego m onye ọbụla na space a. Afọ m bụ Obi Ishife. Abụ m onye Anambra State. Asị m ka m tinye ọnụ n'okwu a na-ekwu. My suggestion ihe nchọrọ ikwu dị similar to ihe onye Diọkpala kwubulu okwu before. Aha ya bụ obedient. But anụsịrị m ihe Maazị akwụzila okwu before mụ ekwu okwu. Anụsịrị m ihe o kwuru. The stark reality dị on ground because anọrọ m na Anambra State. Even though na anọ m na Anambra State wee eto mgbe ndị na nwatakịrị. Etoro m around Ọgbaru. So ihe nna anụ, stories a nna anụ, ha dịkwa similar mgbe anyị na-eto maka ọpiwe ka mgbe anwa aga ndị nke akọlụ gbagolo ndị nke ama mgbe Mbaduju bụ gọvanọ, so insecurity everywhere eji meta kpọọ Bakassi boys akpọrọ ha megidekwalụ, they became corrupt. Then mgbe Ngige batalụ, at least there was a little bit of governance. That governance mgbe ọ pụkwalụ Peter Obi banye, we saw the difference. Mgbe Peter Obi pụrụ Obianọ banye, we saw the difference. What am I trying to bring out? What I'm trying to bring out that insecurity is a product of bad governance. Let us say it what it is. It's a product of poor governance. We don't have a leader. Let us call it what it is, and let us not paint it anywhere. We don't have a leader. There is leadership failure. It's as simple as ABCD. Because I cause ihe niile anyị na-ekwu ka akọlụ gbadatanana. There is no leadership. It's a failure of leadership, and that is what we are suffering. It is not as if na mmadụ emeghị ya before now. Peter Obi nọkwa nọ n'ebe anwa before. At least we know the difference. We know Mbadu Junior. We know how it used to be. We know when somebody that was serious with governor. We know what it was. You don't need to do much. Copy and paste. Anyway, it's still the same copy and paste. That is what is going on now. Because what reality of things now is that nobody wants to do anything. Everybody, the president has been set. Okwana neighboring state here, how we know how somebody is a governor, and then you know how everywhere was insecure, and the person got re-elected. So president has been set. Onye ọzọ na-akọpịkwa ya, onye ọzọ na-akọpị sị na ya ga-emekwa the same thing. So that is what I feel. N'ihe nna na-ekwu na mmadụ, somebody is somewhere sitting down that I won't do anything. People are, after all, ndị mmadụ emeghị ya before, and they're not free. So I am asking, are we now helpless? Because ihe na-ekwu, what have we do? People are also thinking that they are helpless. Ha atụnyalụ mmadụ na election. We all know na ọbụrụzi vote na-ebunye mmadụ. na-ebube ndị mmadụ na ọchịchị kịta. We all know what is going on. My question again, are we helpless? Because that is what I think. If we are not helpless, please, what is the way out? Darling.
Thank you so much, my dear sister. Ihe niile i kwuru,
Okwa, bro.
onye medine mago onu abịa dịka onu
I'm a na
okay.
chiku.
Ka ndị ekwu na-etinyekwu onwe m na more trouble ka so biko o nwere nnukwu ajụjụ ejụrụ in the end. Ekwutesi okwu ọbara uru ijekwugaba. I think the nwere onye nọ na this space amaro the issues that indeed is a product of bad leadership and different characters we've had in leadership. Gosigai, what they're able to do in those crucial sectors of security, education, healthcare, and co. So the real question, Bo, how do we make sure we get the right people into leadership? Nwale Benjelo a few days ago, now Refite. And it was a wonderful, wonderful set of human beings there. Some of them former PGs, AIG retired, and more. So one of the leaders there, Wallo Microphone, where Jubamo Henge Melo Hano Rifte, Mambolo, the next governor. So now Gebun Jebe Erosion Nenye Hansobo, Nkakan Fuhin, how bad is the Kawa, how close their body to Ose Market, and how Nehiana de Mako as one Maya Chamenka had to go Kita, and Mamma was the Maka. It went on and on and on. So Ochenambo, one of those regular politicians, Kambia Kwebenkwa, see, one nwoke, I'm happy na nọ here. And even the offer no na make no ga akwado. Mana abịara m ebe a ikwe nkwa maka na oke nkwa aha mere unu ji eme mistake all the time. Ọ bụ na mmepe ọnụ kịta agwaba gị na m ga-eme nka m ga-alụ erosion na ma mma tee ya ete sef mee nka chọọ insecurity mee nka echikwana bụrụ onye anọdụ onye ori ma onye ama onye mara bịakwa kwuwe the same thing. How would you make a determination ka etu ị ga-esi mazi nke ị ga-eso eso? Rapụ na oke nkwa, rapụ promise a, rapụkere na ihe manifesto a, rapụ na ihe ndị a, jụọ na ese onye ebugodo onye aha first. Onye a ezigbo mmadụ ka ọ bụ, onwere etu onye dị ibe ya marọ, onwero. Ijura, make one small move ị ga-emeke mgbe ị ga-ajụ 2-3 people to go from the same village onye aha si ma ebe ọ lụrụ ọrụ ma ebe o je school ịmala ụdị mmadụ onye aha bụ. And if Rana ndị a nwere nnukwute pride in them, arrogance in them, biko chalụ nọ ha biko na ụmụnne m chalụ nọ ha. Nwekwara ihe dị iche na ekwensu na mmụọ ọma ndị ọzọ akwanụ pride mere ekwensu ji webụla ekwensu ọ bụ. So gbalụ na ndị ahụ ọsọ chọba ndị ezigbo mmadụ, seek you first ndị ezigbo mmadụ in politics. A na-etinye na mkpu and adị m ekwukwa na mbụ ezigbo mmadụ ọhịa m gwara ha. Asị m ha bịara m ebe a ka nso unu na mbụkwa ezigbo mmadụ kama na unu jee mechaa nkwagharị ọrụ unu ka mbụ sobe m ọ bụ na unu esone m unu fụ onye ka m mma sobe na onye aha period. Because ịmarụ ihe echi you will be the victim. Ọ bụ na ekidnapụrụ gị ekidnapụ onye bụ nwanne gị ịkwụkwa ransom, you will be the victim. Biko election na elu 2025 I abịara politics today mana you end up the same thing. And when Nagwa people, there's nothing that is near close to Edinba Kalia leadership conversation. Maka ihe ọsọ gị na-eme ọsọ gị na-alụ na NGO, ọsọ gị bụrụ a military officer, ọsọ gị bụrụ a businessman, ọsọ gị bụrụ an inventor, ọsọ gị bụrụ an entrepreneur, nke ọ bụla ị na-eme until enweta proper leadership. It's half of fear. They could to have had it before. Just Maluka and to have had it before. If Imonia be Jonia be Mbaha, only Becky, among what no Siabia. Oga Majigi. Now today, if Onya be Jukania, before you put yourself or wagging up one note because quality leadership. Chairman and this mother. And this woman is not enough for all other things gets here. And be go from there. Even this woman is not enough. I've been saying it. You've got to also look at people who have those competencies, who now got through the right process. Ndị they go indoctrinated properly. Ndị nwekwuru governance experiences, particularly in the private sector. Onwe ihe jikọrọ mba na oti. These are people gbagolu mbọ na private sector more ọfụma. And ha maka esi eme ọfụma. Thank God I am of the same stock. Ihe nji ekwu ya bụ na ka ihe anyị ga-eme anyị dịkwa helpless until enwee change of ọnọdụ. Okwe ka anyị ga-emenwu kịta between now and November si ma nwekwu ya ka stop kere ihe na-eme. Mana oge ahụ luo ka anyị gbaa mbọ make sure na anyị mere ọfụma in getting the right people into office. And egwu atụzi n'ụlọ, oh, INEC, vote or count, vote still counts. Ihe anyị ga-eme erika mgbe politics ka anyị kpaa maka politics. For now, the thing I have to say to you bụ get right leaders in politics. Ihe niile ikwulu here, nwanne m nwoke, gosi that now when different people were governors, we felt the impacts, both in security, in healthcare, in education, in creating competitive environment for businesses to thrive, and what have you. Thank you.
All right, daalụ nne. Ọ dị ka ọ na-akpọ gị Chief Val because afụgo m na ichiri echichi so m ga na-akpọzi gị Chief Val na nkata anyị na-akpa n'abalị ya ọ dị mkpa onye chizuru na-ekwu ka o si
Echibekwa
wee dị.
eze ego ahụ ọkpọrọ eze ego ahụ ọkpọrọ bụ afa nna nna m mgbe m na-eto eto na sekọndịrị skuul ka a nọ ekpọba m eze ego so ọ bụrụkwa maka ego akwa
Ịfụrụ
jos
na
na nna
otego
nna m akpọrọ eze
ịfụrụ na
ego.
otego
Thank you.
otego ndị Hausa na ụta. Okay, let's
Thank
hear
you.
from a lady now. Let's hear from a lady
Exactly
now.
my point, sir.
Elder. Let's hear from Elder.
Hello everyone. Good evening. Thank you, Chuka, for having me on the platform and well done. Congratulations for united the Igbo community and the diaspora and also in Nigeria. That is a great platform. I've been following you guys since the beginning and you guys are growing and that's fantastic because I think the Igbo people needs to have a voice. Nigerian people needs to have a voice, and that is great. I had the pleasure to meet Mr. Val Ozigbo when Peter Obi was candidate as the position of the president in Nigeria, and he was here accompanying him in UK. We also have a group here, a team here support him. He was here last year, and we have a great team here support him and hope of his getting on the government in Anambra State. I've been missing a lot because I don't speak Igbo. I don't understand most of the time what you guys are saying. So if there is any teachers here among you guys willing to cheat, I'm very interested to learn. So I'm not going to miss anymore. But my question is, Mr. Val, take in consideration the increase insecurity and the Anambra state. I would like to know what is your proposal, what is your agenda, what is your plans as if you become elected a governor on the state. And I want to know that on the practical way, how would you target the security issues in the state? How are you planning to make sure the population it feels more secure there? There is any project and plan on installing CCTV cameras on the streets? There is any other project to work with the local police system? How would you target that situation to make sure the population is safe? Like, I would love to go there to visit the state, but I would love as well to feel safe going there, as I work with many politicians worldwide as a consultant in the strategic of campaign during elections. And I'm highly interested to work with you as we discussed previously. But I would want to know how safe it is for myself as a non-Nigerian person visiting Anambra State today. How would I feel secure? It is security in place for people come to see the state or want to invest on the state. How, as you plan to target that? That will be my main question today as we are discussing the issue of insecurity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Elda. I was just trying to remember. Um, I don't know if we exchanged numbers. There are a few more things I'd like to say to you outside of this. But let me quickly address your question. Um, Thank you for joining this space, and despite your being unable, we've done maybe 70-80% of this content in Igbo, and you still have been patient. You can only be this keenly interested because of your love for Igbo people and Anambra people. So I want to say a big thank you to you for the sacrifice you're making. And just to say that we've responded to some of what you've said here. Um, Before we go into what I intend to do, I always start off by saying, this is who I am, this is who I would like to be. I like to be somebody who will prioritize um, leveraging office, political office, to do good in the sight of God and in the sight of men. I want to be somebody who prioritizes, the welfare of citizens. It becomes a priority in everything that I do. And that's what defines you as the Ozigbo man that we've talked about, a good man, a good person. Because this is really what the Bible is saying. That it's only when a good person is in power that you can get people to rejoice, because the good person will prioritize the welfare. That's how joy will come back to the land. And when we also talk about political will does not come from, um, it's like you can't find an apple tree from mango. So, goodwill, political will is actually goodwill. It's the will you have to do good, and it has to come from the goodness of the person. Why I say this is, I can say a lot of things that I propose. Even somebody who is wrongly indoctrinated can say even better things. So it won't be about what I'm saying. If you're a good person, even if you don't know everything to be done, your goodness will make you to listen to people and learn more what to do, and you do those stuff. Now, to become more practical, there's no rocket science to this. The world is so advanced that you can copy and replicate. So if you have the goodwill, it has to manifest in two things. Number one is to create the architecture so you can monitor what is happening, so you can respond promptly to what is happening. You've got to be able to have a proper command and control center so that we see everything going on. Of course, you have to leverage CCTV and solar lights and all of that, illuminate places so you can monitor what's happening at major locations in Anambra State. And if you have the resources, with just 4 proper drones hung up there, you will see Anambra is so small. You will see everything happening in every part of Anambra. Imagine if a kidnap happens in Ifitoka and you see where it happened. You monitor, you see where the vehicles are driven to. You're able to communicate to, hey, they're approaching this side. The victim is in the boat, whatever, hit here, all of that. And then by the time you synchronize with the national intelligence, even a helicopter can be on the air. When we prioritize human life, show this compassion and show this goodwill, and then bring this, strategy, things will become uncomfortable for these criminals. And then empower the security agencies, make them feel, appreciated, spend money, buy vehicles for them. Buy vehicles for them. These vehicles dilapidate so quickly because they use that to chase criminals. Yes, there are some bad eggs in some of these, but no, focus on the fact there are some good ones and do the needful. Provide equipment, provide armories, provide, bulletproof vests and all of this. And find a core team you're going to work with that will integrate with the locals so that you get intelligence across board. The value chain is, unfettered in terms of information flow. When you're able to get that, then set up a system for whistleblowing, for anonymous, commentaries. People can say and report suspicious incidents. And of course, the people will know how to decipher which one is criminal and which one is malice. Because see, when you do things like this, if you not have any quarrel with somebody, you can report you as a criminal. But the people who have the intelligence to decipher, to know the difference between a proper crime situation and a malice. So if we're able to do this, this is a good start. And there are many more things we can do. Some of them we can't discuss in public. But once you're a good person, grace of God will follow you. And what you do will give you the result. What we are witnessing today, because wicked people are in power. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have a question that I want to ask, but I wouldn't want to take people's time. So I'm hoping that anybody that is speaking now is coming to ask questions, so we can exhaust the remaining time that we have with Chival. Um, I don't know how many more minutes he can give us, but we don't want to keep him for longer than he can offer because ọ ga-abụ na ọ nwere ife ndị ọzọ na-eme na nnukwu mmadụ nwere ife ndị ọzọ na-eme ọ bụrụ sọ
Yeah,
ebe ọ
actually,
bịara. So
I DM'd you that I do have a 10 p.m., so we can take another 5 minutes to round up.
okay. Anambra first son, are you ready to engage? Anambra first son, if you're ready to engage, please unmute your mic and speak. Okay, let's hear from Ochendo, Chief Ochendo. In nwere ajụjụ?
Ndị be anyị ekene m.
Biko, take just 2 minutes ka ị jụọ ajụjụ ị chọrọ ịjụ so that we can have our guests
Okay.
exhausted.
Okay. So, before njụ ajụjụ, o nwere ife nchọburu ikwu. O nwere ife nchọ ikwu. So, unu ana n'ife m na-ekwu?
You have 2 minutes, so
Okay. So, now, unlike so many of you, actually grew up in Anambra State. So, I was there. Anọ m there mgbe Mbadiniju bụ gọvanọ. Anọ m there mgbe Peter Obi bịa. Anọ m there mgbe Ngige bịa. So, nọkwa there mgbe mgbe Soludo bịa, anọ m on and off. So now, one thing unu amara ọbụna, Soludo is a vindictive fellow. The guy na-ebi iwe n'obi.
On a be we no be. Why phone amalo? So now, he lost the first election to Peter Obi when he first came out. Then this time he used when he was campaigning. The video is on YouTube. You guys can go and watch it. When he was campaigning, he used Peter Obi for campaign. He used Peter Obi for campaign. He said, if you vote up guy, he will do like Peter Obi. Peter Obi reduced poverty. He did that. He did this one. Then when he became governor, He started talking down on Peter Obi to show you that he's vindictive. And again, when Peter Obi became governor, kidnapping
Um,
was rampant. No, no,
Chief,
no, no,
Chief.
no, no.
Hello,
I'm
Chief.
still coming. I'm still coming. Kidnapping was rampant in Anambra State. What did he do? He tackled it head on.
Chief.
You understand?
Hello, Chief.
Yeah, yeah,
Hello, Chief.
yeah.
Hold on, please.
Okay.
Hold on, please. Actually, can I keep us to the conversation I about here? It's about the insecurity situation. So, open on any questions. Like I told
Yes,
you, you heard
I'm
our
still coming
guest.
there. I'm still coming to that. I'm still coming to
Open
that.
in our guest, you could not get 5 minutes.
Oh,
So I want
okay,
you to just go ahead and ask a question, Eju, so you
okay.
can respond
Oh,
before Jebe
okay, okay, okay.
dialogue.
Okay, thank you very much. So my question is, uh, the why is he building roads, building flyovers in Ikulobia that nobody needed that flyover. It's just another thing that will be causing hold up traffic there. Why is he building all these things instead of tackling security? If he tackles the security and there's security in Anambra State, money will flow. The IGR will flow. Then money will come. People will come out from their home and start doing their business as usual. So why is he not tackling the insecurity? Instead, he's on social media every time. He will be snapping the same road and posting it multiple times. Is that why we put him there to do roads or to tackle the insecurity? That's my question. Why is he not tackling the insecurities in Anambra when he sees all the things that's happening? People have been kidnapped. People have
Okay.
been the ransoms. Why is he not tackling it? Are you seeing what Governor Ba is doing in Enugu State? So that's my question.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
supposed to be
One dialogue. Thank you.
CCTV in so many places in Anambra State.
Okay.
Why is there no CCTV there?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, one Dalo. Biko, I'm so sorry that I'm rushing off to go. I had imagined that if I can't get out for 2 hours, now I got party here. So, Tiempo, another meeting, which I'm now running late for. But I'm more than happy for us to, I'm Bob Bruno Cholum, to be back on this show. I'm more than happy to do so. And next time, I'll make sure at least I'm allow 3 hours provision for those who would like to sit and speak further. Um, ya ajụjụ ejula ya zagokwana ya na this platform. And iji go ọnụ gị kwuo na onye anyị na-ekwu maka ya bụsara ezigbo mmadụ. And and so ịjụzi dị ajụjụ bụ na ịnwetago the answer already. Because ihe na-eme ezugo onye amarọgodo ihe o kwesịrị ime amalụ ihe o kwesịrị ime. Ihe megolo sọsọ nyanwagodo o kwuru maka papi ya, o kwuru maka nwa ebe o kwuru okwu ma Tony Maz ma GEO. Amara ma ihe ọ na-akọwa ọ bụ na ebe ọ bụ na o mere papi ya mee ndị si bekwe ndị ọzọ ka ndị shon ozuru ka mara ma ihe ọ na-esi ya ihe ahụ o kwuru na that ebe ndị Anglican leadership na-eme their retreat. A food that na everything good about blaming somebody else. Also nọ ndị ụka nọ ndị IPOB na in fact na ị na-echezi ka o kwuo ihe ọ ga like koje because Jen again this video na-ekwu maka ya ọ bụ na I'll share it with Kunie so that everybody you can watch it. It was almost even saying that na I wish na pro governor na ihe ọka eme bụ supervise a I don't know a doctoral to answer the question why do they leave? Ka ịmalụ ụmụaka ji efezi alụsị not because no can fail in their responsibilities. Forget all these things. Megodun Kigame as a leader, Hapugodun Kendoka. It may be of myself, Ndoka will take a cue. You will then inspire them to do the good. What I'm saying, in fact, is a guy jogging. Ihe ji alụ road because a na-ezute nnukwute ego na road. You've got to each is where go. You got turn infrastructure big and all here making some people. Some of these are leaders. Hana cho ebang daily the money, and so a man keeps a man to and Obu Nonya had the compassionate. He can still do roads and take care of security. In fact, security is so important that now. Also, I'm going to road ni na focus on and or the man Anambra will ejel mo na kebube dike mbosia na yes, na nke Ebodike, ebe olulu how many kilometer roads? Ebe many places na Anambra, ndị Anambra nwere capacity to do their roads. Eziokwu na onwere state roads that state government must do and we must also do. It's important to fix roads. And we're not talking down on the need for us to fix roads. Because Imarokwe, it can also create us its own counter effects of you know, dwindling economy and even creating a hub for insecurity as well. But not at the detriment of Ihe Basalo security. Security is by far number one priority. And that's why Ojinodi, a constitution, Edele there, the primary role of government, both security and welfare of citizens. But that's why you want security vote, and one road vote, and one any other vote. So also security want vote ọ dị important and ihe anyị kwesịrị ị na-eme abụrụzi sọsọ godo ihe anyị ga-eme sọsọ Anambra. I keep saying we've got to look at the region as well because ibugodo onye Anambra ka m nwere isi port as gbafee Imo nwee problem ọ ka bụ nsogbu isite Enugu abịa nwee nsogbu it's still a problem. So ka ihe anyị ga-eme sef ka a na-enwe a regional conversation around this so that Anthony Nana fire on all cylinders. From Hope Uzodinma to Alex Oti to Nwifuru to Mba to Soludo. Ha nọkọ na tebụl welugodo ego a tụfuo n'akụkụ ha pride ha na ha ka ha nwee kegwa onwe ha eziokwu. And the commissioners of police, the AIGs in charge of these areas, the soldiers, the barracks, from one in Onisha to 82 Division and Co. Get no Maya. Hanchana go and we're a joint operation. If we're able to effectively lead this, ihe a na-ekwu agbana aka njọ ha gbaje ebe ọzọ ha find is Igbo uncomfortable for them. And that's what we must do. And ụmụnne m mgbe I ga-anọkọzi again, I want to also encourage people. I've done a video on insecurity. I spent time researching on this, thinking through this, and may say again, Biko, go to my YouTube handle, particularly as it borders on insecurity.